Oh, my eyes watering.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about the beauty experience and why do we call it a beauty experience? Just because that is the terminology that people really want to hear today, and you are creating a total experience for them. A couple things that you can do to enhance that beauty experience is to have real warm washcloths, to add to the skincare and really only focus on the skincare, and then give them an option for a beauty bar after that to do the glamour. And I really recommend, as a new consultant, that's what you focus on, is a beauty experience, because then you don't have to worry about, do I have all the glamour experience? Do I know how to do this? Or how does this work? And it gives you time to build confidence being in front of people, and then moving into the beauty bar situation for their next facial. So I want to talk about, how can you enhance the beauty experience? Well, I like to add the satin hands, which comes in the starter kit, and then satin lips also. So in your first order the satin lips, which is the sugar scrub, and then the lip balm. And then I also like to add two other products, well, eventually more, but if you can add the charcoal mask and the moisture gel mask. That can really enhance their experience and really extend beyond just the miracle set. So they definitely feel a difference in their skin. So a couple things about the mask. The charcoal mask is such a powerful product because it has bentonite clay in it that helps with inflammation and healing. It helps with a lot of different skin problems, even because of the bentonite clay. The charcoal mask draws out the dirt and the soil and the oil in their pores, so they instantly see their pores refined. So it works along with the miracle set to really enhance the miracle set. And then the moisture gel mask, what that does is it rehydrates the skin, which again helps the pores look more refined, the skin soft. So Erica, I want you to share how you feel when you do the charcoal mask and the gel following with the moisture gel mask.
Like a whole new person, realistically. With the charcoal mask, I mean, I do it 3 times a day, 3 times a week. Correction. Correction.
I thought, wow, Erica.
No coffee yet. I do it 3 times a week, and I do it Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays because that's where I feel the most activeness of my skin, and it just feels the best. It's like, to be honest with you, a baby's bottom, so smooth.
It does, because it enhances the exfoliation and your skin looks clearer and brighter, doesn't it?
Oh my goodness, I did it last night, and I actually woke up this morning and I had to rehydrate my skin because I did the moisture last night as well, but with this crazy weather,
Mm-hmm.
I was actually dry blistered right in here this morning. So I literally covered up my face.
So, and you can you don't even have to take that gel mask off. You know that.
Yes.
Okay, good. So you can just put your other skincare right over it if you want to.
Yep.
Because at this time of the year, that really soaks in. Now, if you're doing that in the height of humidity, then you might have to wipe that gel mask off and then continue with your skincare.
Yeah, because I doubled moisture in my skin this morning.
So, sometimes we just need that, especially when this weather is doing this crazy stuff. So what I want to do is I kind of want to take you through, what does it look like to do a beauty experience. You can really follow along on your flip chart if you want to do it through that. There's also a beauty experience flip chart that you can have copied, like at Office Depot. That's on our Finest page under Files, if you want to use that. But there's just some basic bullet points. I like to remove the charcoal mask with a real washcloth. Not that you can't use the disposable washcloths, but it does take a little bit more effort and probably a couple cloths to get it off. So I'm going to start from the beginning, and I'm going to share with you some of the things that I've done to help my cells increase and to have my beauty experiences move pretty quickly and easily. Now, in our beauty experience hostess program, which we just call our packages, it gives them, if they have 5 or more people, they get to choose between the microdermabrasion, the detox and rejuvenation, which is the charcoal mask, and the gel mask, and the peel. But wouldn't you agree, Erica, most people pick the detox and rejuvenation with the charcoal mask?
Yeah.
So that's the one I really do concentrate on, and usually I kind of romance that one a little bit more with my hostess and the people I talk to, because that's the one I want to do. Now, if this is their next beauty experience, then you can take them into another option, but that's the one I really work at getting. So that's the one I'm going to talk about. So when I start my party, the thing about it is I've already checked in with all of the guests. I've already found out what they want to do for their treatment. And again, I kind of influence them to the detox and rejuvenation. So that's usually what I have. I have everything on their tray. I have the type of skincare they need, whether it's normal to dry or combination to oily. So I have their Miracle set on the tray, starting with the second row of the apertures, starting from the left working right. So I put the cleanser out, and then I leave an open space for the charcoal mask. I put the gel mask, and then I put the night solution and the moisturizer. So that's how I put it out. I will talk about the day solution and let them try that on the back of their hand, but I have not been putting it on their tray. And then in the 2 little apertures up in the corner, I put the sugar scrub for their lips, and I put the balm. And then if I want to be really prepared and I have time, I'll go ahead and put the satin hands in the lower apertures on the lower row. But a lot of times I just do that because I have my hostess do that at the end when I'm closing with everybody. Okay, so this is the way my party goes. I want everybody to introduce themselves, and I want them to tell me what their biggest skincare concern is. Now, even though I've gone over this when I've talked to them on the phone, I want to just kind of cover some of those things as I go around the table. Now, another thing that I like to have prepared is I do have a Dream It game, because in the flip chart, it always has where you talk about the business. And I always got nervous about this. How do I integrate the business, and how do I make it fun? And I like the Dream It game because they get to pull out something, they read a question, they answer the question, and then I can talk about how that kind of relates to Mary Kay. So I have that prepared. I have that all cut out, and I have that in a little bag. So I'm prepared with that. So the tray, when I come to the table, is pretty much filled, because for some reason I can't squeeze and talk at the same time. Some people can, but I can't. So when I start, I'm going to start with them doing the sugar scrub on their lips. So I say the first step we're going to do is take the exfoliant, the sugar scrub, and work that into your lips. And then we're going to go to your cleanser, and we're going to work that on your face. And then I give them a cloth to wipe that off. Now, if you want to just use a disposable cloth to wipe off the cleanser, that's fine, and then leave another cloth for your charcoal mask. Another thing I found is get gray cloths for the charcoal mask because they're just easier to wash. I
use all my whatever color I have out.
Yes, well, which is fine too, but don't use white, because I had white, and don't use white. You have to soak them in bleach to make them really.
I just use Shout.
Shout, that gets it out?
Yeah. I use it, I do new washcloth every time, obviously. Mm-hmm. And I just throw it in our hamper, and then when it's time to do laundry, I just soak them in Shout. So they literally sit wet with charcoal all over it for like a week. And then I just spray it out, and it comes out.
Good. That's good to know.
Shout's my best friend.
I don't do the laundry, so I don't know how it's.
I have to. I'm OCD.
Okay, so anyway, so then they put their cleanser on and they wipe their cleanser off, and then you're going to have them put their charcoal mask on, and of course you need to let that sit at least 10 minutes, and you can go into 15. So during that time you have time, and that's when I pass the bag around. I let them pull out the question, and one of the questions might be something like, well, how would your finances change if you had an extra $500 a month? Or what would it feel like to pick up a free car, just to go, and everything was paid for, the taxes, the licensing, everything was paid for, and you just got to pick it up? How would that feel? So I would have those questions going around. Well, what I'm doing is I'm paying attention to needs and wants and desires. So then later I can come back and choose who I want to talk to about the business. But it gives a really great way to open up the conversation about their dreams, their hopes, their wants, their desires. And of course, you can tell a little bit of story about why you decided to start your Mary Kay business during that time. So then they need to go ahead and wipe that off, and then they're going to put the moisture gel mask on. And again, you want that to sit for about 10 minutes. So if you didn't get completely done, or you can do the Dream It bag again. It's lots of fun to go around again. Or you can take this time to talk about your other beauty experiences or the beauty bar, other bookings that you can offer, other things that you can offer in the future, your services. You can talk about how, ask them to write on the back of their profile if they'd like to be part of your preferred customer, where they receive a Look magazine 4 times or 5 times a year. How they preferred to be contacted. Do they prefer to be contacted through text? You can go through things like that second mask while that's setting. And then, like we talked about, you can either wash that off again or leave that off. Go ahead and follow with the night solution. They'll want to put on their lip balm, and then also follow with their moisturizer. And then basically they're finished. But you do want to recap the skincare, because otherwise they get confused. And that's when I like to do the back of their hand. So I go back and I have the Miracle Set sitting out on the table, because you get that in your starter kit. And you say, okay, we're going to go through what you would do on a daily basis with your skincare. Romance the skincare. Tell them how it's 11 steps and just 3 simple steps, and that you're going to go through a day's worth on the back of their hand. And then what you want to do is you do want to start with the cleanser, and then you want to do the night solution like they did on their face, and then you want to do the moisturizer, and then you want to take that off, and you want to do again the cleanser. And then you want to do the day solution and talk about the day solution, and then the moisturizer. And then you can give them a squirt of CC cream on both of their hands and let them see and feel the difference of the way their skin feels when they use the skincare versus not using the skincare. And so it is important to do that type of close, and then follow up with the satin hands. I like my hostess to know how to do the satin hands, so I can sit down and talk to everybody individually and help them with anything that they want while she's doing that. But if you want to do the satin hands all at once, when you get finished, that's fine too. But when you go to close the skincare, what I want you to do is I want you to draw them to their face. I want you to say, okay, I want you to feel your face. I want you to take out the mirror. I want you to look at the difference. How does your skin feel? Get that interaction. What do you see? Because when you do that mask for the first time, Erica, what do you, and the skincare, what did you notice the first time when you took that mirror out and looked at your face after you did the Miracle Set and the mask?
It was glowing. The cleanest possibly it's ever been. Hey, Lynn!
Hi, Lynn. Welcome. You're right. The skin, you actually can see and feel a difference. Then you draw attention to their hands. You can see the difference after 1 day's worth of application. Can you imagine if you do that daily? And then you can do the closet close. Say, okay, I want you just to just have a little, just go to your closet, and I want you to pick out that outfit that you feel great in. And I want you to start adding up what that costs. Now, how often do you use that outfit? Are you using the same outfit that you used 10 years ago, 5 years ago? 3 years ago? No, but your face, you're going to have this face for the rest of your life. And so it's important to take care of it with a couple minutes in the morning and a couple minutes at night. So what I want to do is I want to show you how Mary Kay comes. Now you have a book there that lists all the prices. You can go through that, but I want to show you my special. And so then I really do believe in having at least one roll-up bag available. I do love the fact if you can have enough inventory where you can have roll-up bags packed for every client, I'm going to tell you what, your sales are going to go up. But if you only have enough to have one, then you create one roll-up bag because this is so powerful. Now, Erica, I don't know if have you ever been to one of my meetings where I've actually handed you a roll-up bag? Have you ever gone through that?
No.
No.
But my very first customer party that I had before I signed, Leah did it.
It is so
it's a joy. Don't take it out of my hands, joy.
Correct. Don't take that out of my hands, joy. That's exactly the way it is. There's something about touching, holding, feeling the product. So sometimes if I only have one, and there was a time in my career that I only had one, then what I would do is I would hand that to the person who was sitting next to me, and I'd say, oh, would you be my Vanna? And I would let her hold it. I would hand it to her like this, and I'd say, go ahead and open it up and hold it up. Notice how it twists, and I would make her hold it like this. Now, why do I make her hold it like this? Because in here, I have the Miracle Set in the first two pockets. I have the Detox and Rejuvenation in the last, and I have the Satin Hands and the Satin Lips in the third. This is heavy. This is heavy. So when she's holding this like this, after a while, I would say something like, Lynn, is that heavy? And you're going, yes, it's heavy, because I want them to feel the substantialness of this product, of these products. And I want her touching. So then I'll say, okay, so I'm going to tell you about my special. In the first pocket is your 3-in-1 cleanser and your age-fighting moisturizer. And this is for the person who just wants good skin and some moisturizer. Okay, good cleanser and some moisturizer. In the second pocket is the day-night. This creates your Miracle Set. You get a substantial discount when you buy these two together. It's just $95. But remember, it replaces 11 products. Do you know you could not go to Walmart and buy 11 products for your skin for $95? And this is going to last you so much longer, because I can promise you, if you go to Walmart and you look at those products and you look at the back of the ingredients, you're going to see water towards the top. That means that's one of the most substantial ingredients in there. And that's what you're buying, which in Mary Kay, you're buying products that are going to last you. And then how many of you love the way your lips feel? Great. And then when Erica does satin hands on you and we get done, your hands are going to feel the same way. This is your satin set down here. And then the bottom one is your detox and rejuvenation set. Now this total collection retails for $251 with the roll-up bag. This retails for $200, but tonight you get it for just $201. And so then I just roll this up and I say, okay, now let's go back to those clothes that you said you haven't been wearing for the last, you are not wearing the same clothes you bought 10 years ago. How much money did you spend on that? And now what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes for a minute. Both of you close your eyes for a minute. You're walking, Erica, so maybe not. Oh, close your eyes for a minute. I want you to picture somebody you haven't seen for a long time. Once you have them pictured, open your eyes. Lynn, what part of their body did you see? Their face. Your face is the first thing people see and the last thing that they remember. And why not, for a couple minutes in the morning, for less than a cup of coffee, and a couple minutes at night, you have great looking skin for the rest of your life. Okay, so what I want to do is I just want to touch base with each of you individually, because I want to talk about future beauty treatments that you might want to try. I want to help you with anything that you might want to take home tonight. I do take cash, I take check, I take MasterCard, Visa, I take the a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit everywhere, he'll never know plan. And we'll just work that out with you. So what I want you to do is just bring your roll-up bag. If I have enough for each one, I've got their name on the back side of this tag, and they pick up their roll-up bag. If not, then I take the person who showed the roll-up bag. So the person who's holding the roll-up bag, I take her first. And I would just say, Lynn, if you were holding the roll-up bag, I would say, Lynn, come on, and how about if we chat first? And I have an area set up that I can chat with him. And I said, just grab the roll-up bag, and I have her carry it. Because the longer she holds it, what happens, Erica?
The longer she's going to want it and purchase it.
That's right. So then, okay, I always had a problem of selling. You know, I mean, honestly, if any of you watch me sell things, it's like, well, whatever you want. And if I'm not prepared, it's really, well, whatever you want. So I had to get to the point that I needed to get the volume of my sales up. And I needed to, plus I wasn't doing my customers the justice that they deserved in having the complete collection. So then when I sat, and she's holding this, there's a couple things that I can teach you about closing. You've been standing up and you've been in control through the whole beauty experience. Now you release that control and you give it to her. So you make sure you sit down. And you make sure that you lean down and you bring her eyes your eyes a little bit lower than her eyes. Now what that is a body language that you're using to release control. Because anytime, you know, like when you're talking to your children and you want them to listen, you come down over them, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, I remember when my son, who was taller than me, was a junior in high school, and I needed to make a point. There was one time and one time only. I took his shirt, I pulled his eyes down, and below my eyes, and I looked him in and I said what I said. And I made my point, because you have to be in that authority mode. But when if you want them to be excited about what they're purchasing and feel in control, because that's the difference between somebody being pushy and somebody not. You bring your eye level below their eye level and you lean in and you lower your voice and you say, okay, so Lynn, go ahead and open up your roll-up bag. So then they open up their roll-up bag and they're laying it across because it's heavy, remember? So they're laying it across their lap, and then you just lean over and you just say, Erica, so is there anything in that roll-up bag you feel you would never use? And you're going, shaking your head. And she's looking at it and she's going, well, no, because she used everything that night, you know? And so she's going, well, no. And then, again, your eyes are lower. These are the only sales techniques I can teach you. Your eyes are lower. And then you say, so is that the way you'd like to get started tonight? And now you're going like this. Now I want you guys to look at me while I'm going like this. Look at me and try to shake your head no. How does that feel when you try? It's very difficult to hear no when I'm shaking my head yes, right? Another technique for the little ones.
Same motion.
Correct. Because we naturally mimic other people's motion. So she has the roll-up bag, and if she says yes, do not fall off the chair. Just get out a receipt and write up the roll-up bag. Okay? Now, how did I come from the 251 to the 201? Because when I have somebody buy everything, I give them the roll-up bag free. So I subtracted that off of that, which is $36. Then I bought the set in the Miracle set in a set. So I only paid $95 for it. But if you piece it out, it costs a lot more than that. The satin lips, if you piece it out, it costs a lot more than that. So they're getting a retail value of $251 or $252 for just the 201, and I've basically given them the roll-up bag free. So for a $200 sale, it did cost me $18. But to me, it's worth them getting everything in here with me giving them $18 worth of my cost away. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so what if they say, no, I just think I want to start with the miracle set? If that's the case, then what you do is you reach over and you pick up the roll-up bag off of her lap and you take it onto your lap, okay? She will feel a loss. I will tell you what, everybody, she will feel a loss. You don't have to acknowledge that loss. I'm just telling you, she's going, inside she's going, don't take that away from me. But you reach over and you take it away, and then you say, and you affirm what she buys. So let's say that you said that. You'd say, Lynn, you know what? The miracle set is just the best way to get started. And you're holding the roll-up bag and you're pulling the products out and you're setting them out and you're showing her exactly what she's getting. And then you're holding the roll-up bag and you just go through, okay, now is there anything else like you feel that you absolutely need? Now I know that you were talking about how great your lips felt when you did the satin lips. Do you think you wanted to add the satin lips?
Of course.
Okay, so then you take the satin lips out. You start taking things out with the bag, and pretty soon she looks down and she says, I'll just take the whole thing. But there are some certain things that you go to get add-on sales. Eye makeup remover and mascara, okay? So even if she says, oh yeah, that's the way I want to start, okay, great, then you keep and you hold on to that roll-up bag. But remember how I said that you're leaning down? And remember how, Erica, you acknowledged we mimic each other? She
Yes.
leans when you lean. So you watch that, okay? So she says the miracle set, great, you write that up, and then you lean in and you say something like, so now, Erica, what do you have to take your eye makeup off?
I use the eye makeup remover for my eyes, and then I just use the 3-in-1 cleanser for my foundation and everything else.
Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to take her right to the oil-free eye makeup remover. So if she picks up the miracle set, you're going to ask her what she uses to take her eye makeup off. And if she says, well, I don't really use anything or whatever, then you're going to tell her about the eye makeup remover. And you're going to say, do you think that's something you need to add to your cleansing line? Mm-hmm. Notice my head. Okay. And then say, oh, and one more thing. How old is your mascara? Is it over 3 months old?
Yes.
Okay. So when she says yes, do you think you need to throw a new mascara in? Because it is really important for eye health to get a new mascara every 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay. So is there anything else that you feel that you really, really need tonight?
Well, I really like, if I'm going to do mascara, I should just go full face and just do the eyeliner and everything else. Just get it all done with.
Okay, so we should pick out some of those products too. Okay, see, what you're doing is you're opening it up for her to get other items. And now this is what you do. Remember I said you lean in, she leans in, you watch her body language. The minute she shifts back, he's done. Don't ask her anymore. She could say, oh, no, I don't think I want that eye makeup remover. And she's still leaning in, and then you ask her the mascara. And if she goes, oh, yeah, I think, okay, throw in a mascara. And if she shifts back, you don't even ask her another question.
Yep.
If she's still with you, if she still has your body language mimicked, then you go on and say, is there anything else that you need to add into there? Is there anything else you need? If you just watch her shoulders, you'll know exactly when to stop. You'll never be pushy. Lower your voice, be gentle, lean in, and that's how you start building your sales. It's really a technique that makes her feel so comfortable in an environment that she wants to purchase. And that's how you'll build your sales. Okay, any questions?
No.
Any questions?
You're quiet.
I'm going to mute you for a second, Lynn. I guess I can't unmute you. Maybe you have to. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Okay, Lynn, any questions?
No.
Okay, so how do you feel, Lynn, with that procedure? Do you think you could do that?
Maybe.
I know you can, Lynn.
It's a stepping stone. It truly is. If you were not on the live event show last Sunday, I had jitters being recorded doing this. I mean, it's a stepping stone. You'll get there.
And the
I hope so.
First time you hand her the bag and you say, "Is there anything that you feel like you wouldn't use? Is that the way you get started?" And she says, "Yes." Again, okay, this is what I had to do. The first time I got, "Oh, well, yes, I'll just take it all." I had to actually grab the bottom of the chair so I didn't change my expression, because my first party was like $60. It wasn't anything to write home to,
I got that.
So it wasn't, and that was just because they said, can we get some of this stuff? Because I didn't even have a close. It was like, okay, I'm done. See, there's hope for anybody. So the first time I tried this, and she said, yeah, and I will tell you, the first time I tried this, it was in a box back then. We didn't have a roll-up bag. It was in a box. So the first time I tried it, and she said, "Oh, yeah, I think I'll take everything in it." It was the first time I actually used the box. I did literally have to grab the chair because I wanted to say, "Are you sure?" But it really does work. So I just want you to try that. And when you think about placing your first order, your next order, just think about, how can I have one roll-up bag that I can have filled that I can hand to them? And then eventually, as you start building your inventory, you want to be able to have at least 4 to 5 of these roll-up bags full. Now, you can, what I used to do is I would tie a ribbon on them, whether they were for normal to dry or combination to oily, but I don't do that anymore. What I do now is I make sure I pre-profile, and I have the type of skincare that is best for them in here with the proper tag and the proper price on there, especially if I have a variety of skincares that I'm doing at the skincare class. So like Lynn, when you were talking about you're closer to my age. I know you're not as old as I am, but you're closer to my age. And so you're doing more people with the Voluform repair set. And so you'll probably want to have one packed up with that in it. Just so, and with the prices and the tags, I do have one with the Voluform repair on with the total retail if they're priced out. And that's even a more substantial difference between because there's a bigger discount when they buy that as a set. But anyway, I would just take a little bit of more time before my skincare classes now, and I pack these up so I have them ready with the skincare in them. Okay? Okay, sounds good. I hope this was helpful. Lynn, what did you get?
What did I get?
Yeah, what little hint did you get?
Inventory.
Well, and you're going to get there. You're going to get there. It does make a difference.
How do I do that? Do I order by order, and then?
Well, right now, if you don't have inventory, I recommend as soon as you can, just place an order to get maybe a full roll-up bag that you can put together and kind of use that. And then just then place the orders after your party. And then if you can then just take your profits and start putting that in so you can start working some things up on your shelf. I think that's what Erica did. Isn't that what you did, Erica?
I do. I do a bulk order every month or every other month, and I do a bulk order of what my clients order, my personal order, and then I double it. That way I have stuff building up on my shelf. I've only been in this since October. My inventory is not the best, but it's my system and how I do it.
And I've done it both ways. The first time I started, I did the whole 3 parties that I did the first time I did Mary Kay. I didn't have inventory, and I just had a little bit like that just to show. And then the second time I did have inventory. Now, if there's any way you can get inventory, whether it's using the free interest on the Chase
Okay.
card, or, you know, I went to the bank. We didn't have credit cards back then like that, like now. But whatever, if you can't get inventory, I can tell you, and I can just use this for an example. Last night, my niece called me. She's my niece. She would be Myra's cousin. So she's in town from Des Moines. Well, she's my customer, but she needed a travel size clear proof set because she's traveling. And she has to go. She takes off Sunday. She flies off, and she said, you know, I've tried buying cheap, and I just like my skin breaks out when I'm traveling, so I just want my skincare. And she goes, I was meeting up with Myra tonight, and I told her to bring me one, and she said I don't have one. And so guess who she called?
You.
Me. So, you know, that's just, I mean, you just lose out on sales when you don't have it on hand because
You do.
Sunday. So eventually you want to be able to do what Erica's doing, build up and put some extra product on your shelf. If you can't get it up front, then, you know, build it up in the rear. You can make this work however you need to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
It's just easier if you have it on your shelf.
It
Yeah.
is. Because I will tell you right now, I had an order come through unexpectedly. Somebody I don't even know found my page and ordered. I had everything but one item on my shelf. And I could not do an inventory order. I had to do a customer order. And I actually bit my tongue because of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is what it is, and you just build up from there.
That's right. That's right. You do whatever you need to do to be successful. I don't want anybody to ever think that inventory is going to stop them from being successful. It's just you don't get as much cash in your hands right up front
Mm-hmm.
because you're putting it in, you're putting that cash in your hand, you're investing it back in your business.
Yep.
So however you have to do it, you do it to be successful, and just know that, but when you start, so if you're trying to figure out how do I start, if I don't have enough to do a full inventory, how do I start? You start with getting yourself at least one roll-up bag that you can put in their hands and pass around from person to person, and then you place the order for their products. The thing that if you're going to do that, if you're going to do that and you have this and you have a $500 beauty experience, you come home and you place that immediately and get that in their hands as fast as you can. Okay?
Yep.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks for tuning in and letting me record this. Have a great
Well,
weekend.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Happy
Bye.
St. Patrick's Day. Ha ha.
Isn't it great to see each other, see faces?
It
It's
is.
just so great to be able to see you
Yeah.
out there, Lynn, even though you're a couple hours away. So I kind of like this.
I have music going back. Can you hear them?
Okay, have a great week.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.